On antitrust
6595 Charlie.
6595 Charlie.
Okay, can I grab an RD45114 from this event here?
Yep, that's going to be John 525-687, 525-687, and event number 08486.
Stocks were lower, a lot of weakness, and a lot of chip makers and other tech stocks. The Dow today fell 228, the NASDAQ down 418, that's a nearly 2% decline. The S&P lost 70, that's a 1% drop. And even though the Federal Reserve lowered its benchmark lending rate last week, the Mortgage Bankers Association says this week average rates on a 30-year fixed-rate loan rose higher, averaging 6.38%. With business at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Tom Busby, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
You've got a crash and some road work on westbound I-80. Traffic is coming up.
Here we go! Bears! Maybe you shouldn't have gotten shirtless in this weather. It's a nice Bears jacket. Oh, thanks. I bought it with the Chicago Bears PNC Bank Visa debit card, which gives exclusive discounts on Bears merchandise. It looks so soft and warm. Can you get discounts on gloves? Yeah.
Frequency mode.
Alrighty. Let's get going, right? Let's see what's going on. Thanks for tuning in. It's 4:24 p.m. December 17, 2025. SubX.News. On the spot reporting. We're on live in downtown Chicago. Seeing what's going on. Talking about what we see, what we think, what we lived our experience. And let's make this clear. I'm 57 years old. I lived 55 years in Chicago. 55 years inside of Chicago. So that's kind of my experience. Most of it's been on the south side of Chicago. By 35th Street. So I didn't grow up anywhere else besides the city. My mom lived in the suburbs for a little while. I went back and forth between her and my dad. So my experience is 50 plus years in Chicago.
Thank you.
So we'll see what's going on, where we're going. As you've seen, the usual crime is still going on in Chicago. It hasn't subsided. It hasn't. One of the big things what's sad is that the mayor is using his official capacity. He's using the teachers union resources to do narrative building, which might be illegal. We should look into the legalities of that, where you're using your office to promote your personal views, right? Which you shouldn't be doing. You should be promoting what's good for everybody, and the union is doing that too. They're actually in a lawsuit because they haven't disclosed how they've spent their money, which is a public sector union, which is illegal. And now the mayor is doing the same thing that he used to do at the union, right? They hide money, they play games. It's all about power. They don't want to fix the union. They don't want to fix the city. And one of the bigger things now that's happening is he's telling Schnelling, the superintendent, to run around and say that crime is down in Chicago, when actually it technically isn't. Murders might be down, but there's a lot of reasons for that. We have less population. Most officers are now trained in trauma care on site. They do tourniquets, wound care right on site as the person gets shot. That didn't happen 5, 10, 15 years ago, right? So that's where we're at in time, and no one actually talks about those things. It's kind of disingenuous. It's kind of sad to see, and I still believe, look, I'm old-fashioned. I'm 57. I still believe in old-fashioned news, right? I'm a guerrilla reporter. I'm a street reporter. I'm on the street. I give it to you how I see it. Sometimes the facts change. Sometimes the things change as we go and we learn what the issue is. But when you have mainstream media saying things like crime is down and everything is safe in Chicago, and they're repeating the narrative of the politician that's known to lie. That's kind of really, really sad. It's sad that the media has gone that far down the drain, and they don't ask critical questions. It's like they're part of him, which I've told you, everybody, right? The media are union, and they're in the same union as the teachers union. So they're part of the CFL. So they're part of the guild, right? And the actors guild, and what's the other one? There's another one. There's two unions that the reporters are in, and they're both in the CFL. Chicago Federation of Labor. So that's where we're at. They're in part of the same union, so they promote the same ideas and policies. It's kind of like this discussion that I seen the other day on the internet. Bonivo, he was at a Teamster 705 strike line. I just showed it to you. But in this thread, on the discussion thread on that one on Twitter, one of the demands, if you see the Teamsters demand of that strike line, is that they want something for immigrants or something like that. Fair treatment of something. I don't know what it was. And right away, everybody starts saying, like, wait up. So you want illegal immigration? Aren't you, like, supposed to be for American workers? So that's what I'm trying to get to here with Brandon, these unions, and these other things. They're promoting un-American, non-American, anti-American ideas. They're promoting anti-Semitism. Over the summer and last year, they were purely anti-Semitic, right? They were attacking Jewish students at all kinds of schools throughout Chicago and throughout the United States. Imagine an organization that's anti-Semitic. You can be pro-Palestine for the people. You can do that. But you can't be anti-Semitic. That's kind of, we had a world war against it. Let's listen to the news, see what's going on, and I'll get back to what's going on and what I'm thinking, where we're going to go.
Tonight at United Center in business.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Sizable losses on Wall Street today on weakness in the tech sector. The Dow down 228. The NASDAQ lost 418. The S&P lower by 79.
41 degrees, partly cloudy skies at 431. The city of Chicago's top lawyer sharing details about what could happen if aldermen and the mayor cannot enact a budget before the end of the year. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz reports on the drop-dead date.
December 30th is the date.
Corporation Counsel Mary Richardson-Laurie says if a balanced budget is not approved by the end of that day, which in case you haven't looked it up is a week from next Tuesday, then the city will have to make a bunch of calls.
We have to then give notice to every collective bargaining agreement holder, which is 40 plus, that we don't have a balanced budget.
Then on January 1st, the money stops.
We then move into a category called essential worker designation. Those individuals will be working without pay.
Such as police officers, firefighters, snowplow drivers, and others, including the people who make sure water gets to suburbs that have contracts with the city. Richardson-Laurie suggested the city might be forced to go to court to compel those workers to do their jobs without pay. No one should want that, she says. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
A pedestrian was hit and killed. Several other people, including police officers, injured when an SUV crashed into a Walgreens parking lot on Butterfield Road in Hillside. It happened about 2 o'clock today. Andrew Mack is a spokesperson for the village of Hillside.
At this point, we believe that it may have been a medical emergency, but we're still waiting to confirm from details and tests that are being done. There were other victims who were transported by ambulance in serious condition to Loyola Hospital, as well as some victims who were transported in less serious condition to Elmhurst Hospital.
The 2 police officers who were hit were on routine patrol and are also being evaluated at a hospital. The SUV crashed into the lot on the 4700 block of Butterfield and struck both parked cars and people. The 2 police officers who were struck were on routine patrol, and now they are at the hospital. The person who was killed was a man. The driver of the SUV was also a man. The state high school football playoff race will have a lot more contenders next season.
The Illinois High School Association has voted to expand the football playoff field to 384 teams, up from 256, starting next year. There will still be 8 playoff classes, but each will now have 48 teams. The regular season will still be 9 games, but will start a week earlier, and the championship games for Illinois high school football will, as always, still take place the weekend after Thanksgiving. Terry Keshner, 105.9 WBBM.
A woman is facing a number of charges after she attacked several people on a CTA train last night.
Those charges against 26-year-old Jada Beatty include aggravated battery in a public place, of a transit employee, and of a victim over the age of 60. Chicago police say Beatty was on board a Red Line train near the Lake Station downtown when she struck 2 women, a 32-year-old and 19-year-old, with a glass bottle. When she was off the train, Beatty is accused of attacking a 66-year-old man and 63-year-old woman. She was arrested about an hour later in the 100 block of North Wabash. She was reportedly arrested just last month for the aggravated assault of a transit rider. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
434, the Field Museum showing off the creatures that will stay illuminated throughout the holiday season.
There aren't many places nearby where you can see insects like a glow-in-the-dark scorpion, known scientifically as the Arizona bark scorpion.
Kind of cool, right?
Field Museum Collections assistant Jim Louderman says the insect is biofluorescent, which means it absorbs light from the sun and re-emits it.
When you're out in Arizona, they blend in with the sand, so you really almost never see them. But if you take an ultraviolet, like one of these little flashlights, and go out at night and shine it on the ground, you can see these from about 10 feet away.
The scorpion was one of several insects, fish, and other animals the field featured at its special holiday edition of Meet a Scientist. The event featured creatures that produce or reflect light. Head of Zoology Collections Caleb McMahon says he hopes visitors learn something new about some of the glow-in-the-dark animals they might already be familiar with.
I mean, a big greater appreciation for what we're still learning constantly about the world and the organisms that live in the world, and even for things that they might be familiar with, like this possum or squirrel, you learn something new about that today.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the nation, Rob Reiner's son made his first court appearance today after he allegedly murdered the Hollywood director and his wife. 32-year-old Nick Reiner did not enter a plea to 2 counts of first-degree murder, but said, "Yes, Your Honor," when asked to agree to an arraignment date. His attorney, Alan Jackson, asked everyone to allow the system to move forward.
We ask that during this process, you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward. Not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
He'll be back in court January 7th. This just into WBBM. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino says he will resign from the Bureau next month. In his brief tenure, Bongino has clashed with the Justice Department over the handling of the Epstein files. A departure which has been expected is among the highest profile resignations yet of the second Trump administration. Coming up in a minute, low gas prices and traffic and weather together. It's 4:36.
Finding health insurance can be so confusing. That's why we are here to help.
With hundreds of trained insurance guides, what we call navigators, available in communities across Illinois.
All free. At getcoveredillinois.gov. Here to help.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw. Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus...
What's the big news we heard today? Beatings with bottles. Violence on the train. We showed it to you yesterday. That's where we were. Don't you remember that? That's how we started our afternoon, right? We had 2 shows yesterday. You seen it. Wabash again. The death row. We're going to start calling Wabash death row. I mean, we're showing you guys that for 3 years now. They sell drugs. There's migrants there. There's killers there. Killers, yes, there's killers on Wabash. Multiple people have been killed on that street. You know, and anyone who goes on TV says crime is down in our city should be put in prison for lying and cheating and harming everybody in our city because you're endangering people when you say that kind of crap. I'm not happy. We were just there yesterday. Wabash, there was a stabbing before that, so every day it's violence. Why? You know why it's violent? Because now they're cracking down. That's why. This prick that's the mayor's playing games, right? You see him messing with Jamal Green, right? Why are you messing with Jamal Green? Jamal Green's Jamal Green. He's a citizen. He can say whatever he wants. Why are you attacking him? Why are you using the Chicago Teachers Union to attack Jamal Green? That's weird. Why don't you ask that question? And they're black, right?
And eastbound heavy from Larkin to before Briggs and then LaGrange Road.
Strange, right?
The Edens has been a headache. 52 minutes in from the spur ramp all the way to the junction. It's really tight for you there. Outbound's fine. Kennedy inbound, 57 minutes now from O'Hare to the Jane Byrne. You're heavy from Cumberland, stop and go all the way to downtown. 25 from the junction, outbound, heavy from the Byrne interchange up to Harlem. 37 to Montrose, 57 to O'Hare. Express lanes now are about 8 minutes faster, so if you can get in, go ahead. I-190 O'Hare Extension westbound, you're heavy from the Tri-State to Mannheim. The Eisenhower, not fun. It's an hour 25 from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrne. Hang in there. It's an hour 20 on your way out. Stevenson inbound is 55 minutes from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore. In Will County, northbound, you're heavy from Route 53 to I-355. Southbound, I-355 to Weber Road is where your delay is. Dan Ryan, 18 minutes on the inbound side. Outbound, though, you're stop and go from the Jane Byrne interchange to the Bishopford split. It's almost an hour, 55 minutes for you. I-57 inbound's fine. Outbound, though, you're heavy from the Tri-State to past 159.
Below 14, there will be a couple of snow showers around 2, especially early. Much colder on Friday despite some sunshine. Still breezy. High just 25. 41 degrees right now at O'Hare. It's 40 at Midway, 38 in Warrenville, 37 at the lakefront, going down to 33 tonight. I'm AccuButt, the meteorologist, Brian Thompson.
It's 4:40. Some Republicans are switching sides on the healthcare debate.
4 House Republicans have broken with Speaker Mike Johnson in the ongoing healthcare saga on Capitol Hill. It was a stunning turn. The 4 centrist Republicans signed on to a Democratic bid that will now force a vote on extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that lower health care costs for millions of Americans.
I want to thank those Republicans who signed the discharge petition.
Massachusetts Democrat Jim McGovern, even as he warned today is the last chance to avoid soaring premiums in 2026. A vote could happen next month. House GOP leaders had been moving forward with a health care bill that does not address the premiums. North Carolina's Virginia Fox said just extending the subsidies is a desperate Democrat bid to salvage a broken ACA.
We're not attempting to place a Band-Aid on a ruptured artery.
Despite the Republican revolt, Johnson insists he has not lost control of the House. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The Bondi Beach gunman now faces 15 charges of murder. It comes as loved ones are beginning to say goodbye to the victims.
Hundreds of mourners gather in Sydney to begin funerals for the victims. 2 shooters slaughtered 15 people on Sunday in an anti-Semitic mass shooting targeting Jews celebrating Hanukkah at Bondi Beach. And more than 20 other people are still being treated in hospitals. All those killed by the gunmen, who've been identified so far, were Jewish. As probes unfold, Australia faces a social and political reckoning about anti-Semitism, gun control, and whether police protection for Jews at events such as Sundays are sufficient for the threats they face. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Well, we've got some tips today on how to fly with kids.
Patience and preparation are the 2 keys to success for parents who are flying with young children during the holidays. Cindy Richards of SheBuysTravel.com says if you're flying with an infant, try to condition the baby to get comfortable in new environments outside of their cozy bedroom so they can sleep on an airplane or a hotel.
So for the next couple of days, if you're flying, next week, the next couple of days, try to put the baby down in different places and see if you can get her to sleep.
If you're flying with a toddler, make sure you have snacks, headphones, and a fully charged iPad to serve as a distraction on the plane. Before you leave, she says, make sure everything works and that your child knows how to use it. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBDM.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy.
Again, everybody just heard Wabash Avenue fighting on the train. She was doing that last time. These are violent criminals that were allowed and are allowed on our CTA. We have recordings from the dispatch saying, oh, it's the regulars. There was beatings when they were wilding. They're wilding. Groups, 20 to 30 people beating on passengers, and they would say, oh, it's just the regulars. It's just the regulars. We got those recordings going back 3 years. The Chicago police are following political agendas rather than keeping us safe. They're complicit. Every rank and filer that doesn't do their job, cop, should be removed. If they're listening to politics, they should be removed. They're not there to listen to politics. That's politics. They should be doing cop stuff, arresting people. And look, if the judge and the prosecutor want to let them go, then we deal with the judge and the prosecutor. Everybody's seen that the replacement for Tim Evans is worse, right? We got tricked. Eileen Burke isn't good. She's let those migrants go that killed George Levin. Did you know that? She let migrants go that killed somebody. She did that. That was her fault. So we need to be careful about what these people say, because they're tricksters. They'll say whatever they want to get elected. Yeah, we need to be careful.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
And there's people that are paid. There's people that are paid to work for Brandon Johnson, to lie on TV, to lie on the internet, to lie in every places. There was a guy talking about Chicago crime. He said, oh, you did blah, 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 something about crime and statistics. He was from Las Vegas. His name is Digital Creator from Las Vegas. Talking about Chicago crime. Huh. Interesting, isn't it? You know, the Chicago Teachers Union paid $177,000 to a digital creator in Arizona. Did you know that? $177,000 to a digital creator. Do you know we've spent, what, $700 million with an out-of-state company to supply food to the migrants? When we could have did that, we could have had so many jobs. We could have had so many jobs.
NewsRadio.com. A homeowners association in Maryland is fining a family $50 a day because of their Christmas lights. They call them a nuisance. There are no HOA rules against Christmas decorations, but there are rules against lights directed outside the property and lawn ornaments. Other neighbors have Christmas lights up, but they have not been fined. The family has racked up $650 in fines so far. And Google has announced that its latest update includes a feature called Emergency Live Video, allowing Android users to video call with 911 operators. It doesn't make sense in every situation, though. Officials in Arizona are trying it out, and they say it's been of limited use so far. The same feature is available for iPhone users. You just have to make sure your phone has the latest update. 4:46 now. Time to find a Porsche mechanic at PorscheLincolnwood.com. To Sports Now and Adam Szynski.
Bears take on a Packers team that's now without star pass rusher Micah Parsons on Saturday. Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley said it's next man up for his defense.
These guys have a lot of pride, and they're going to get even closer because of this, and they're going to play well. And our best players are going to step up. And the guys who haven't played a lot, that's been our job all year to develop those guys. So in situations like this, they're going to step up. And we're going to play hard, and we're going to coach hard, and we're going to do everything we can to win.
Both teams are dealing with key injuries. Bears receivers Roma Dunze and Luther Burden have missed practice the last 2 days. Running back DeAndre Swift was added to the injury report today. He was limited with a groin injury.
On the CTA and in downtown Wabash that has a
says they've been trying
criminal
to
background in attacking people in downtown and on the CTA.
I think the guys are doing a good job of staying up, and the 25 games into this, like, there's still so much of the season left, and we got to stay together. But I think there's a lot of frustration. You know, we could play better. So we just got to continue to stay with it.
Tip-off is at 7 o'clock tonight. In MLB free agency news, the Mets are signing righty Luke Weaver to a 2-year deal after he spent last year with the Yankees. 670 The Score's Bruce Levine reports the Cubs were one of the teams in discussions with Weaver's agent. With sports at 16 and 46, I'm 670 The Score's Adam Szynski on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Adam, thank you. 4:48, time for traffic now. Here's Lisa Costi.
At I-80 westbound, you're heavy from US 30 to Briggs. That earlier semi-crash has been cleared, but you're still jammed past Ridge. That's due to some road work in a lane. Eastbound, you are heavy from Larkin to before Briggs, and then LaGrange Road to I-57. The Eden's now a 48-minute trip in from Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 17 for you. The Kennedy, Stop and Go Cumberland all the way to downtown, 57 from O'Hare, 25 from the junction. It's 56 to get you out to O'Hare. The express lanes, you'll actually save about 3 minutes. Eisenhower inbound, it's an hour 25 from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrd, 45 from Manheim. It's 58 going out to Manheim, an hour 20 to I-90. The Stevenson, 55 minutes in from I-355 to DeSaba Lakeshore Drive. You're heavy from Lamont Road to before Central and then past Demon to the Ryan. Outbound side, it's an hour now to the Tri-State, an hour 20 to I-355. Dan Ryan inbound, 18 minutes for you, so not too bad. Outbound, a whole different story. 55 minutes of stop and go from the Jane Byrd interchange to the Bishop Ford split. I-57 outbound, heavy from the Tri-State to past 159th as they clean up that earlier crash. It's moved to the shoulder, 22 minutes for you. The Bishop Ford inbound just slow from 103rd to the Dan Ryan, 15 minutes on the inbound side. DeSaba Lakeshore Drive northbound heavy Roosevelt to Chicago. Southbound you're heavy from North Ave to past Chicago, and then on the south side, 47th to 57th, tap of the brakes there. The Tri-State northbound heavy from the Bishop Ford to Halstead. Southbound Balmoral to Ogden is the slowdown. Your next traffic at 4:58 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather as the sky turns increasingly cloudy tonight. It will be breezy. Some rain will move in late. Low 33 early. Temperatures will rise into the low 40s toward daybreak. Windy tomorrow.
It's supposed to be warm. Listen.
It's going to stay cloudy pretty much throughout the day, though, with a high of 47. Then
tomorrow,
sharply colder into tomorrow night. 41 degrees in O'Hare right now. It's 40 at Midway, 38 in Albany Park, 37 at the lakefront. We're heading down to 33 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian.
Chicago's only station dedicated to news around the clock. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, as we gear up for holiday gatherings, Cook County leaders want to make sure everyone is up to date on their flu and COVID vaccines.
If you want to fully enjoy the holiday season, you have to put your health first.
When it comes to enjoying the holidays, Cook County President Tony Preckwinkle says it starts with being smart about your health.
To ensure you're up to date on your flu and COVID vaccinations, when you get vaccinated, you're not only protecting yourself, you're helping to protect a grandparent, a newborn, a neighbor with a compromised immune system.
A message backed by Providence Hospital's chief hospital executive, Dr. Arnold F. Turner. He says not paying attention to your health can lead to more problems, not just for you, but for everyone you come in contact with.
More seasonal illnesses like flu and stomach bugs, more accidents, higher stress, delayed care that leads to worsening conditions.
According to the Chicago Department of Public Health, as of last week, positive tests for the flu increased from 3.7 to 4.7%, and COVID increased from 2.3 to 4.9%.
So get your shots, pay attention to your mental health, and give yourself permission to rest.
Will Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, a holiday tradition at the University of Illinois dating back 65 years will continue through midnight tonight.
Here we go. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
That's Arthur Hall, a master's student of library information science, who tells us this is his 6th or 7th year with Dial a Carol. It's a free service where people can call and request a holiday tune 24 hours a day this week. Residence Director Sarah McElwee says they've heard from people in Russia, Australia, and the Czech Republic, most likely due to their network of alums.
Someone calls their aunt in England who calls their friend in Scotland who calls their friend in Russia, you know? So I think it's just kind of word of mouth, but then also our alums do a lot to kind of get the word out.
You can make your request by calling 217-322-1882. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Energy scammers really don't like it when we give away their secrets and give you the power to stop them. No!
No! Yeah, right.
ComEd will never call or visit your home or business to sell electricity or ask for immediate payment. And if anyone tries, there's just one thing to do. No! You have the power. Learn more at ComEd.com/scamalert. ComEd, powering lives.
Ellsberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrap-up. Hearings.
So what did we hear today? The mayor's lawyer is lying. It's not going to shut down. You have to work. You're an essential worker. So that shutdown of Chicago is not going to hurt nobody. You're going to have essential workers working. They're going to save money when it shuts down. That shutdown actually helps in the short term. It cuts everybody understands what a shutdown does, right? Everybody knows what a shutdown does. Everybody keeps working. You just don't get paid. And guess what? The main people who are ripping us off don't get paid either. Think about it. How about if we asked all the aldermen and their staffs and all these weird commissioners and deputy mayors? I think there's 50 deputy mayors now. And you know, Brandon Johnson appointed 4 deputy mayors on his first day on the job. Duplicative work in other departments. They haven't even cut that out of the budget, have they? They don't even talk about that stuff. Why? Because the next guy that's mayor wants to have that too. We have to watch politics really carefully. That some things don't get cut. Why? Because they want it too the next time they get elected. The other thing is this crime is out of the roof in Chicago. And you can say, hey man, yeah, there's less murders. Yeah, there's less murders. Yeah, well, when you do trauma care on site, then you're going to save a lot more people, which is great. That's great. When you move people out of the projects and you move them around and you have you have police in certain areas and police not in certain areas, then yeah, you have certain crime that goes up and certain crimes go down. I'm going to tell you, I'm working on a paper. I'm working on a lot of things that I've been working on all year. There is some neighborhoods that have a 200 to 400% increase in crime. So if you put a 400 increase in crime next to 0 increase in crime, guess what you get? It reduces the percentage. Got that? How that works? That's how that works. It's called density, right? And population loss. There's a lot of manipulation they do in the statistics, right? What you got to do is you got to look at different areas. Did I tell you that they don't mark down shooting incidents separate? When you have a mass shooting, the one that happened in downtown where there was 7 and 2 people shot. Do you know how many incidents they call that? 2. When we had the mass shooting of, what was that, 19 people on July 2nd, you know how many incidents that was? 1. It wasn't 19 shootings. It was 1 shooting. Yeah, we're working on that article. You got that? Now you know how crime goes down in Chicago? You manipulate the statistics. That's how you do it. Yes. That mass shooting of 19 victims was counted as 1, not 19. 1, not 19. Should be counted as 19 because 19 people were shot. You would think a normal person writes it that way, right? 19 people shot, it's 19 shootings, right? No, it wasn't. That's a nice piece of plywood there. Look at that. That's expensive. See that there? That's expensive. It's got the 2x4 and that's I think that's that might be 5/8 plywood there. That's real plywood. That isn't press board there. You see that there? I don't have space in this sucker right now. I'm driving. That's a nice piece of wood there. You see that there? That's really, really nice. That is expensive right there. That's real plywood. That's expensive there. That's more expensive than collecting cans. I'm telling you. Wood is expensive. You could be doing all those things. You could be teaching these young people that. Where did all those summer jobs go? If all that money we spent for summer jobs, I keep saying that the mayor, then what's going on here? All right, why do we still have 14-year-olds getting shot and murdered? That doesn't make sense, does it? Something's not adding up here, right? If crime is down and murders are down, as they say, then why do we have 14-year-olds getting murdered in downtown Chicago? Why do we have mass shootings on July 2nd? Why do you think NASCAR ain't coming back? The worst mass shooting in Chicago's history when NASCAR was here. That's why. I don't mean to make jokes of that. I mean no disrespect to those people who lost their lives and got shot. I'm making light of them saying crime is down when NASCAR isn't coming back because they had a mass shooting. And then not only was it the NASCAR one, there was a mass shooting down in Allgale Gardens where there was just a murder the other night. That murder that happened the other night, of a 14-year-old, a 14 or a 17-year-old was just murdered. It was in a gun shootout down in All Garden. It's the same spot I was there. That was right down there. It was the same spot. That was an AK-47 shootout that time. It's the bloodbath. That was the bloodbath week. We had 5 mass shootings in 1 week, and the biggest one was 19 that week. I think we had a 5, we had a 19, we had a 7. I don't know. I wrote a whole article on that stuff. Crime is down. I don't know. Maybe people are surviving shootings, right? That might be what's happening, and they should say that. Why shootings are down? Because we turned off ShotSpotter and we're not recording each person's shot anymore. Why are murders down? Because police are rendering aid. Police are rendering aid, not Chicago Fire Department. Police are rendering aid. All right, I'm going to try to get that information that they're trained to do that. Which is good. We want that. We don't want more people dying. I don't want more people. I want 0 murders. Imagine we had a city with 0 murders. Imagine Chicago, one of the biggest cities in the world, has 0 murders. That would be miraculous. I don't think we'll get there. I don't think we get there. I wish we could get there, but I don't think we will. We'd have to remove a lot of people, more people in our city. We'd have to reduce our city by about 500,000. And it'd be certain populations. It'd be mostly blacks and Hispanics and poor whites, right? In certain areas, and they would be mostly connected to gangs, right? There's a high population of minorities in our city and poor whites that are connected to the gang culture, right? So you'd have to remove them all, right? Which kind of would be like ethnic cleansing. And that's kind of what they're doing. When they tore down the projects, they got rid of a lot of people, right? And then they spread them out. There was scattered site housing. So now people are spread all over. So now the city and the policy people are trying to figure out how to get rid of those people, right? That's how they're doing it. It's working. It's working its way, right? Do we want that? Do we want 0 murders? Yes, I would say yes, we do. We want 0 murders in our city. It would be a great thing that one day, maybe I'm an old man when I'm 80 or 90 and there's 0 murders. I would love that, right? I would love that. That would be the greatest thing. That would make me happy that we don't have no one dying in our city because of violence, right? And drugs and crime and what other craziness that they try to justify their crime with. This is some news, 5 o'clock.
Committee Willis pushed back on claims that her decision to indict President Trump was based on politics.
You all want to intimidate people from doing the right thing, and you think that you're going to intimidate me. You all have been trying to intimidate me for 5 years.
Despite claims that the proceeding is a witch hunt, Republican State Senator Steve Gooch says,
and I believe she owes it to the taxpayers and to the citizens of Fulton County to answer the questions that's been asked by the committee.
Lawmakers say they will consider legislation based on the testimony. Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
The Oscars are headed to YouTube. The Academy made the announcement today. Entertainment reporter Matt Wolf.
For them to go to a straight-out streamer like YouTube, this is pretty seismic. It speaks volumes about how big streaming is now in our society and with media in general.
ABC will broadcast the annual ceremony through 2028. That year will mark the 100th Oscars. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts.
So again, a government shutdown don't do nothing. It'll keep moving. We'll keep running our city. It ain't gonna stop nothing. And just people aren't gonna get paid. That's the point. And when you come back to work, you get your back pay, right? But guess what? The city saves all that cash, saves all that interest, and makes money. That's how the shutdowns work, man. Did the federal government, did our country stop? Think about it. With the federal government shutdown, did our country stop? Absolutely not. It didn't stop. Did it? Did you stop? They keep talking about these shutdowns. It's like crisis. They create these crises. Let's listen to the news.
It was a chaotic scene.
A driver who was traveling on Butterfield struck a police squad car at Laverne Avenue and continued driving on down Butterfield, striking multiple other vehicles along the way. They then crossed through the intersection at Wolf and crashed into the Walgreens parking lot. Our deepest sympathies go out to the pedestrian who was struck and killed by the driver at the parking lot there.
Hillside investigators say the person who was killed was an older man, as was the driver of the SUV, who may have suffered a medical emergency. The police officers were on routine patrol when they were hit. They were being evaluated at a hospital, as were several other people involved in the crash. Terry Keschner, 105.9 WBBM.
Now to the latest on the city budget. The Johnson administration using a committee tomorrow, a committee meeting this afternoon to poke holes in a budget proposal presented as an alternative to the mayor's spending plan.
The alternative that cleared the Finance Committee uses fee and fine increases and a host of new revenue sources to replace the mayor's controversial corporate head tax. But during an appearance in the Budget Committee, the mayor's finance team says the alternate budget is out of balance by about $163 million. And Chief Financial Officer Jill Jaworski cast doubt on one of the key parts of the alternate, involving collection of debt from red light cameras and parking tickets.
We would not be able to sell this debt and generate proceeds in this manner.
Sponsors of the alternate dispute the numbers from the mayor's office. Bronzeville Alderwoman Pat Dowell.
You are hitting the budget over the head with a hammer when you could do when it doesn't require that.
And the city has 13 days to avoid a potential shutdown. We're watching developments, but for now we're outside City Council chambers. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Meantime, we're learning more about what could happen if the mayor and the city council are unable to reach an agreement. City Corporation Counsel Mary Richardson-Laurie says if leaders do not put a 2026 budget...
Mary Richardson-Laurie is a hack from the Daily days. Imagine this. She works for Brandon Johnson, right? She worked for Daily. You know what she did for Daily? And after that, they put her into CPS when she was shutting down schools. Imagine a person who shut down Chicago Public Schools. She was the general counsel over there at CPS. She was part of school closings, now working for Brandon Johnson. Didn't I talk to you guys that about yesterday? Look at what they do. They're creating contracts with military contractors. How do you have someone who closed schools, who was the legal person, who actually wrote and was part of the law, the legal opinions when they were shutting down schools? That was Mary Richardson-Laurie. I wrote about that 20 years ago. Yeah, I've been reporting 20 years in the city of Chicago. Mary Richardson-Laurie, look her up. I wrote about her a few times recently. When she got appointed by Brandon, I said, wait up, I think I know that lady. She's a hack. She's a straight hack, man. She's more corrupt. She's more corrupt than what's his name? Bannon, Steve Bannon, who steals from veterans. You know Steve Bannon, right? He used to steal from veterans. They were collecting money from veterans. I don't know what they were doing for disabled or something like that, or some weird thing, and then he was stealing their money. Steve Bannon was convicted of that. Everybody knows that one, right? Yeah. Trump ain't got clean hands, man. Trump is all right. I mean, he does his thing, but he's got corrupt people around him too. Yeah, Steve Bannon, corrupt. And then what's the other guy? Alex Jones, saying that Sandy Hook never happened. What a scumbag that guy is. Both sides got dirty hands, man. All right, let's keep moving. What's on the news?
County Line Road that crashed, blocking a lane.
There's nothing gonna happen when they shut down the government. Whatever, they shut it down. We keep working. You're gonna stop working? Absolutely not. You're gonna keep paying. Imagine this: if they shut down the government, did they stop collecting taxes? Did we get our tax break? In fact, I'm gonna write that. How about that? So when City Hall shuts down, they stop collecting taxes, right? So when when Chicago shuts down, we don't have to pay taxes anymore, right? They didn't stop when the feds did it. They lied. They cheating you. They using crisis. That's what they do, and they shouldn't do that. Politicians shouldn't govern that way. That's what's wrong. That's what Jamal Green just wrote, right? That he's being attacked by the CTU. Right? And they shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do those you shouldn't do scare tactics. You shouldn't do any type of that. Does Trump do it? Yeah, Trump does the same thing. That's the problem there, right? That's the problem. All right, let's hear some radio calls because I keep talking and that's too much jibber jabbering. Let's see what's on the radio calls.
Henry. 793 Henry. 793 Henry, go ahead. Get an event number for bus number 1238 going westbound of 773 Henry. 793 Henry. Number, thank you.
Houston 6 City where we got a person with a knife, 8418 South Michigan. Leslie's calling facing a dispute with his intoxicated male family friend who is refusing to leave and he has a knife on a clear.
Here, listen. Just because someone does something wrong and they do something illegal, all right, that's adjudicated. I listen to all kinds of people, but you should understand who that Alex Jones is. He said Sandy Hook never happened. I don't know how many, he has to pay $1 billion for that. Yeah. So, some people do things for effect, and that's what he might have did there to try to get viewership. I don't know, but he says some things that are right, like Joe Rogan. He's all right. I never listened to Charlie Kirk, to tell you the truth. I never did. I didn't. I think I listened to one of his things after he passed away. God rest his soul. That's it. But I don't listen to those guys really. So, but you got to have the different perspectives. You got to listen, but you got to listen to things with a grain of salt, and you got to understand where they're coming from. Right? Are they doing it to tell you the facts? Are they doing it to tell you the facts? Are they doing it to make money? Are they doing it to self-promote? I have a record of 20 years of reporting in Chicago. That's what my record is. How much money have I made off of this? I don't know, I made some money this year off of ads from Facebook. Barely pays my internet bills. I just paid my Sirius XM $140. My phone bill is $450 a month for one phone. I have 3 phones that I use. That's not including my internet bill. So here's the things, right? Do the ads from Facebook pay? Yeah, they help keep it moving, right? Once I have to do an engine or shocks or something like that, then I'm in the hole. But what it is, right? I'm not talking about the money here, but that's the point I'm making is we have to look at why people do things. Well, why does SubX and John Kugler do SubX? Because I'm a resident of Chicago. I've lived here all my life. I've raised my kids here. My family's here. My mom is here. My dad is here. My brothers are here. My sister is here. My nephews and nieces are here. My sons are here. They raised all my family. All of my family. There's about 20 to 30 of us. Some of them have different names already, right? Even the exes, right? Every one of my family connected to me, the close family, all lives in Chicago, whether it's north side or south side. All of us. We got maybe 200 to 300 years collective here already. I'm not a pilgrim. I'm a new guy. I came in the 70s into the city. My family came from Czechoslovakia. When the Russians left, I'm a political refugee. There you go, man. There's another empty building right there. See that there? More empty buildings. See that there? So that's why I do this, because I think it's right. Because I love my city, right? I love my city. There you go. There's an empty store, right? I try to do my best. I love my city. People, there's weirdos. There's like this guy from Vegas. He said I'm negative against Chicago, and he's from Vegas. Who are you? Are you getting paid by Brandon Johnson? Are you an influencer paid? Are you weirdo? What are you? Yeah, Chicago's a great city. I just put on the Route 66 mobile diner. I love that diner. I love the river walks. I love what Ron did with the river walk. It's great. That's a great place. We didn't have a river walk 20 years ago. We got a river walk now. It's nice. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. I like the Sears Tower. I like the John Hancock. I like all of those places. I like this where I'm at now, right? I like these areas, right? The Sears Tower is right there. You see that there? I love my city. I love all the museums. I like Michigan Avenue. I love State Street. I used to go to State Street when I was a kid. Ronnie's Steakhouse. I used to go to United Artists. I used to go to the Woods. I used to go to all those places. I used to go to the Greyhound station, hang out. I love my city, man. What are you talking about? I don't like my city. I don't lie about my city. That's the point. That's what somebody just said. I don't lie about my city. I don't lie about my city. I don't cheat my city. That's the difference. Why? Because I don't have nothing to gain or lose except what? To live here in peace, without crime, without people threatening others, without raising our rents, without raising our taxes. Those things. Yeah. You know who's got the most tax increases? Chicago Public Schools. Billions. There was an article out. I just put it up. They've almost got $10 billion, not their budget. Their budget is $10 billion a year. Over the years, they've got $10 billion in tax, property tax increases. They're the ones that are raping us. They're the ones. They're the ones. And I was a union rep. I was paid by that money. I was a CTU field representative. I was paid good money. I represented 75 schools. I'm not going to lie. I got paid good money. Teachers get good. The average salary of a teacher is close to $100,000 in the city of Chicago. They work, what is it, how many days out of the year? Oh, I forget how many days. It's not even a half a year. The last I remember wasn't even more than 200 days a year. Well, think about it. You're getting 60 to 70 grand and you're working 200 days. That's it. Max. And that's 6 to 7 hour days. And look, I was a teacher. I just told you guys, I started teaching in 2004. I didn't see my kids for that first couple of years because I was building my program. I was doing my curriculum work. I was doing all kinds of things to fit into the school. So yeah, is it a hard job? Absolutely. If you want to do a good job by your students, then that's what you do. That's why I have very successful former students. I have very successful former students, extremely successful former students, because I put in the work. That's why. If you're lazy, you're a bum, you teach Gaza, you teach dildos, you teach nose rings and purple hair, right? If you do that, I guess, and anti-government. So you're a government employee, but you're anti-government. Kind of weird, ain't it? They just had a lady screaming at ICE. They found out she's a school teacher. That one I was using the expletives yesterday against Bonivo. She's a school teacher. First of all, what you doing out of school during the school day? Anybody asked that question? What was she doing running around going against ICE during the school day? No one's asked that question, have they? That's that one that was screaming at the gas station using the explicit. That's a teacher. There's a video out already that identified who she is, what school she works at. She's a CPS teacher in a charter school. First of all, swearing and screaming. Weird, because she's a government employee attacking another government employee. It's a strange thing. The more important thing is what the hell she was doing out of school. What are you doing running around the streets not working? Maybe somebody should do a FOIA on her and say, was she on payroll that day? See, there you go. 187. How many is that? That ain't even a half a year, right, bro? I mean, look, it's a teaching. It's a hard job. If If you think teaching is an easy job, then you go teach. Go ahead and go teach. That's all I got to tell you, man. I'm a teacher, so I'm a credentialed educator in the state of Illinois. I hold a teaching license for vocational education. I also hold an administrative license in the state of Illinois. They're valid right now today. I can go walk into a classroom, teach legally. Brandon Johnson can't. His is expired. Stacy Davis Gates, her teaching credentials are expired. Neither one of them have current credentials. They're not teachers anymore, period. If you let your teaching licenses lapse, you're not a teacher. I have never had a lapse in my teaching credentials since I've had them. Since 2003, I started having teaching credentials. I had to have them when I was student teaching. I've never had a lapse in my credentials, ever. Never. Not once. I haven't been in the classroom since a long time now, right? That's the point I'm trying to say here. We have to look at these. Why did I get on this talking like this? It was about Alex Jones, Steve Bannon's, and these kinds of guys. We need to look at why people are doing things, right? I love my city. That's why I do this. Would I want to make $1 billion? Run SubX.News like CNN or Newsmax or some other place? I would wish. That's a dream. I don't know if I'll get there. Maybe I'm just gonna be a dude that drives around in his car live feeding, talking smack, right? Eating out of a mobile diners, getting threatened by gangbangers and drug addicts, right? Maybe that's all I'll do. And if that is, then I'll be happy. I used to say this. I've been live feeding for a long time now. Long time, over 10 years. See, we got sirens in the background. You hear the sirens? I've been hearing sirens all day since about 2 in the morning today. When I used to live feed and I did my off-roading, whether it's 1, 10, 100, or 100,000, don't matter. I'm still gonna do it. If no one was watching this right now, I would still be doing this. Why? Because I'm doing it, and I think it's important. I'm talking what I see. I would be recording what I would see, and it would be a document in history of what happened while I was in downtown or wherever I drive to. Right? I told you I used to live stream my kids' sports when we went on vacations, my projects at school when I was a high school teacher, things that I seen when I was doing field representative work at the Chicago Teachers Union, right? That's what I did. That's what I've done. I don't know, is it a good habit, bad habit? Where did I learn it? My dad liked taking photography, so maybe I learned it from him. I don't know. But again, I would still be doing this. Would I be writing articles? I don't know. I like that. I learned that. I learned that from George Schmidt. He taught me how to write articles, right? Make sure you check the facts. Make sure you do the, like I'm talking about the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history happened this year, July 2nd. Worst mass shooting happened in Chicago this year, July 2nd. That's why NASCAR ain't coming. The worst mass shooting inside of downtown Loop happened this year. The most migrants accused of murdering and harming people happened this year in Chicago. These are facts. These are facts. And I'm learning that, and I learned that over the years how to do these things, right? I used to cover corruption in the schools, then I did corruption in the government. Now I'm doing stuff here, crime, right? I've never did crime before. I did some of it. I got involved in crime watching when I was a high school teacher when the crime was happening in my schools. I got a ton of stuff written on that from 20 years ago. I was in the newspapers 20 years ago about crime. People come on my page threatening with their gang-banging doper porno pages. You come on my page with your porno gang-banging crap? Are you serious, bro? Criminal porno gangbangers threatening me. Really? That's funny. Criminal. Yeah, you're criminals. Yeah, one day we'll see how that works out for all of you criminals. Yeah, I keep telling you guys, you need to change your ways, man. You gotta stop that stuff. Just because you got a criminal as a mayor Just because you got a criminal, man, even the president's got that. What is the name? Got some convictions too. You think you could do whatever you want? You know, I got a criminal background too, but I don't do whatever I want. I follow the law. I follow the rules. I don't go threatening people. I mean, and then I don't know why you do that and you think it's okay. I don't know why you think it's okay to put pornos and put drugs and to put all that weird stuff on your Facebook pages. Do you think that's normal? You think it's normal behavior to show people you do drugs, that you carry guns and all of that weird stuff? Why do you do those things? Who taught you that? What person taught you to put drugs, guns, and pornos on the public in a public internet? Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. What, you think that's cool? Do you actually believe it's cool to show people that you do drugs and you have gang signs and gang tattoos? Think that's cool? There's a few good pages out there about gangs, historical gang pages. There's really good pages out there. The Greaser Club's History, full story, run by Josh Horde. I've interviewed that guy. He's good. He's a gangbanger. He was in a gang. He does his gang stuff, but the way he runs his page is about history, right? This is what's going on. This is what happened. This is when you see some of my old historical pictures. That's from Josh. Josh does that stuff. We need to know that stuff. But when you start glorifying smoking weeds and have half-naked stuff on your pages, I put some of that stuff on my page if I think it's newsworthy. But I don't do it for glorification. I don't do it as a lifestyle. What is that, man? What is that? First of all, if you want to do it, then do it. I don't care. And if you think it's cool to put it on the internet, I don't think it's cool. I think I'm going to be honest, you look stupid. You're a stupid person to do that kind of stuff. You're not only stupid because it makes you look stupid, you're pretty stupid as a criminal. That's why I said, who taught you to do that stuff? Who taught you to do crime in public and then put it on the internet? Well, who taught you that? It's like bizarre. Are you mentally retarded or something to do those kinds of activities? To do criminal activities and then put it on the internet and then somehow show off that you're cool? I don't know. That's bizarre, man. That's like, I think you're retarded, bros. and ladies, ladies do the same thing. That's like a retarded kind of, I don't even know if that's retarded. I don't even know if I can say that stuff. I'm sure people are I'm sure people are saying, oh man, he's talking weird, man. No, think about it. People put drugs and guns and weird stuff on the internet somehow. Oh, there you go. There's cops right there. Don't you see that? It's all hot down here. We're going to go chase that cop, right? We're going to listen to some radio calls before I keep talking. 006. Sun's going on downtown, eh?
1723.
Let's listen to calls.
7383 Henry.
783 Henry.
Can I mobile with my partner real quick?
Yeah, 783 Henry's partner.
I got on the second block.
Got it. Okay, good. Got it. Good job.
Will be collected when the city shuts down. That's what I'm hearing from Mary Richardson Lowry.
659 John.
216 North Kenneth. Can I get RD for 514 and FB, please?
Alright, it's going to be John 525-759. 525-759. And your event number is 09244. 09244. Speed is 1113. We're going to call it the Sedgwick Brown Line at Sedgwick for a suspicious person.
That's over by the Gardens, Marshallfield Gardens.
Computer froze. There we go. Okay. Oh, good. Male on top of the train. It's going to be a male wearing a purple and white ski mask and silver jewelry. He was riding on top of the train while it was in motion. He then jumped down onto the platform at the Sedgwick station with another male with a ski mask on. Nothing further.
Riding on top of the Brown Line. Jumped off at Sedgwick.
Any skin color?
Didn't Mayor Richardson Lowry say that on the TV, on the radio? Said the city's shutting down and only essential workers. Well, tax collection isn't essential, right? So we don't have to pay taxes when the government... I say we shut it down. I say we shut the city down for a whole year. Save some money. How about that? I think that's a good idea. Well, let's have a vote. I'm going to make a poll. Should we shut down the city for at least a few months to save some money and cut the fat? Because she said only essential workers will work, like police, firefighters, the water, and all of that, right? She said that. The lawyer said that. So you gotta listen to these cronies. They lie so much they don't know what their lies are. Let's listen to the news. 530 News, it's local. Remember that. At the 530 News is always better locally, right? They do more local stuff. Let's listen to what's going on.
Must be at Bloomberg. Sizable losses on Wall Street today on weakness in the tech sector. The Dow down 228. The NASDAQ lost 418. The S&P lower by 79.
39 degrees, partly cloudy skies. The news continues now at 5:31. Well, the Bears now say they'll consider moving to Northwest Indiana. WBBM's Rick Gregg joins us live on the Newsline. With what he knows. Rick.
Yeah, hi, Lisa. Team President and CEO Kevin Warren's been saying since the start of January that there would be shovels in the ground sometime in 2025. And since the summer, the Bears have focused on team-owned land that covers the old Arlington Park racecourse. But the timeline had already slipped, and now the site has too. An open letter from Warren tonight says that since state leadership has told the Bears directly that the stadium project won't be a priority in Springfield in 2026, the team will, quote, critically evaluate opportunities throughout the wider Chicagoland region. And yes, as you pointed out, Lisa, that includes Northwest Indiana. Warren says the Bears are not abandoning the Arlington Heights site completely, just reopening their options until and unless the state comes up with infrastructure money and what the Bears call property tax certainty. Rick Gregg, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Rick, thank you. 5:32. We're also learning more about a deadly plane crash in West Chicago this afternoon.
A statement from the DuPage Airport says it happened just before 2 p.m. The twin-engine plane had just taken off when investigators say it crashed, killing the 2 people on board. The airport will remain closed as West Chicago Police and Fire, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board, look into the cause of the crash. The airport statement also sends condolences for what it calls a tragic incident. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A proposed data center for Naperville isn't sitting well with some neighbors, and they're urging city leaders to move the project somewhere else.
You remember George Carlin, right?
Everybody's got to have a little place for their stuff. That's all life is about. That's the meaning of life.
Well, a data center is a place for our digital stuff, the documents we save to the cloud, the pictures we share in the family group chat, the silly AI videos your kids are making, and we generate more digital stuff every day. That's why Naperville leaders are considering a proposal from Caris Critical to build a 200,000 square foot data center at the old Lucent site off Naperville Road. Data centers are filled with computers that need electricity even when the power's out.
It's designed for efficiency and environmental stewardship.
Harris has posted videos about the project. City council members last night heard from opponents citing concerns about noise and air pollution and property values.
This site will negatively impact this community.
There's no word on when leaders will make a final decision on the proposal. In the meantime, our digital stuff keeps piling up. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Some subway surfers on the CTA holiday trains are making some headlines.
The video shows someone in a Santa outfit with his elf sidekick climbing onto the L train's roof from an elevated platform in the loop and jumping on top of the train.
Wait, jump!
The two can then be seen standing, walking, and even dancing on the train while waving.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We're on the train.
The dangerous and illegal trend was made popular in New York, where there have been a number of deaths and injuries because of the practice. The Chicago Sun-Times reports that the Chicago Transit Authority logged 24 surfing incidents since 2023. The agency has not commented on the most recent incident. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A raccoon dropped through the ceiling and into the Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva.
Video was being recorded when the raccoon appeared in the ceiling. It had pushed aside a tile and dropped in.
There he is!
A guest who tried to catch the animal was bitten.
They're
Firefighters
dealing
were
drugs
called.
here again, right? The drug dealers are back.
Firefighters got the animal trapped, and Matt Snorek, the owner of Guaranteed
The drug dealers are
Wildlife
back.
Control, took over from there. He spoke to CBS 58 Milwaukee.
It certainly had a lot of, vigor and energy and anger and spite being under that toll. But once it was in a cage, it was much more subdued and relaxed.
Snorek said, leave the handling of wildlife to the professionals.
Just don't try to do things outside of your pay grade.
Because the raccoon had bitten someone, it had to be euthanized for rabies testing.
But once it bites somebody, there's only one option, and that's to get that animal tested as soon as possible.
Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
On Capitol Hill, 4 Republicans separating from Speaker Mike Johnson.
Downtown Chicago, 5:34 p.m., December 17, 2025. Look at that. That whole corner is abandoned. This whole building's abandoned. This is a drug pit right here. At one time, they built that knockout over there so the drug dealers don't hang there anymore. It's all messed up down there. See that there? They're starting to hang out down here again. It's a big drug area, right? There they go, man. They're starting to be down here one more time, right? There you go. It's a white person there. You see that there?
He was in shackles and a padded suicide prevention vest. Over the years, he's made no secret of his struggles with drug addiction. After court, his lawyer, Alan Jackson, spoke.
There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. Those need to be thoroughly.
Every time I drive in downtown, it looks worse. With these
Reiner's
empty
arraignment was
buildings.
postponed until January 7th. Meanwhile, his sister and brother released their
5:35
first
p.m.,
statement saying in
December
part,
17,
the horrific
2025.
and devastating loss of our parents is something no one should ever experience. Rob and Michelle Reiner were found dead at home Sunday. The DA says a knife was used to kill them. I'm Julie Wall.
It's glitz and glamour this New Year's Eve at Four Winds Casinos with live entertainment, party favors, and a chance to win a share of over $115,000 in cash. Ring in 2026 at Four Winds Casinos, your entertainment escape.
Across Chicagoland, Chamberlain University helps future nurses take the next step with campuses in Chicago, Addison, and Tinley Park. Your journey begins with faculty who guide you and a community that believes in you. Hybrid learning and real clinical experience help you turn your goals into action. Earn your Bachelor of Nursing degree in as few as 3 years with the nation's #1 largest nursing school. Start where care and purpose come together. Chamberlain University. Belong to something greater. Apply today at chamberlain.edu. That's chamberlain.edu.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
The lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sponsored by PackyWebFord.com. Own a business? You may be able to deduct 100% of the price on a Section 179 qualifying new Ford model. For details, visit PackyWebFord.com. In Skokie, the Mobile on Toohey and LeClaire has gas for $2.99 a gallon. In Crestwood, the Speedway on Cicero and Midlothian has gas for $2.87. coming up.
This is Terry Keshner. Joliet Central High School students use electronics know-how to bring a valuable teaching tool back to life.
That story's coming up, but first, at 5:38, traffic is sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Here's Lisa Costi.
The Metro BNSF trains are stopped near Union Station. That's due to some switch problems. Crews are trying to work to figure that out, so we'll keep you posted. The Edens inbound is 52 minutes. You're heavy from Tower Road all the way to the junction. Outbound, it's a 25-minute trip. Kennedy inbound is an hour for you from O'Hare to the Jane Byrne, 27 from the junction, 50 minutes for you out to O'Hare, but you can save 5 minutes if you can jump in the express lanes outbound. The Eisenhower, it's an hour inbound, an hour 22 to be exact, and then 45 from Mannheim. You're an hour 12 on the outbound side. The Stevenson, we've got that cleanup of an earlier crash outbound, so you're still jammed from the Dan Ryan to County Line Road, but it has been moved on the shoulder, so hopefully things will improve soon. It's 58 minutes out to the Tri-State, an hour 10 to I-355. On the inbound side of the Stevenson, it's an hour 2 from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive, 45 from the Tri-State. The Dan Ryan inbound, not bad, 20 minutes for you. Outbound, a little improvement, but not much. Tapping the brakes from the Jane Byrne all the way to the split. It's 45 minutes for you. I-57 inbound, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on the outbound side. You're heavy from the Dan Ryan to before 111. A little slowdown on the Bishop Ford, just from 111 to the Dan Ryan, 17 minutes in. No delays on your outbound side. DeSable Lakeshore Drive northbound, you are heavy from Balboa to Chicago, southbound from Fullerton to Chicago, and then Randolph to Balboa, also 50th to 57th. Delays on the Tri-State northbound, you're heavy Cermak to the Eisenhower, southbound from the Irving Park Toll Plaza to Ogden, and I-80 to past Halstead. Daydown to eastbound, fine. Westbound, though, slow from Route 53 to Roselle Road. Traffic sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Now's the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. Backed by a 1-year no breakdown guarantee. Peace of mind is only a tune-up away. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. For all the right reasons, call 866-4Seasons. Next traffic at 5:48 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather, it's going to turn out cloudy and breezy for tonight. We'll have rain arriving, but not until very late tonight toward daybreak tomorrow. Low 33 early, temperatures end up in the low 40s toward daybreak. Windy tomorrow with rain, which will end during the afternoon. It will remain cloudy with a high of 47. Blustering, turning sharply colder tomorrow night with a rapid freeze-up possible. Will be mostly cloudy with a couple of snow showers around, especially early. Low 14 tomorrow night. And only 25 for a high Friday. Still brisk with some sunshine. 39 degrees at O'Hare and Midway right now. 38 in South Chicago. 36 at the lakefront. Going down to 33 tonight. Now back to the meteorologist, Brian Thompson.
5:41. Some hardworking high school students have a Joliet Fire Department tool up and running again.
A group of students at Joliet Central High School spent months getting Andy the ambulance back in working order. Andy looks like a cartoon ambulance. He's about the size of a dishwasher, and the Joliet Central students restored his lights, voice box, eye mechanisms, and water squirting system. So now he'll go back to work as a teaching tool for the Joliet Fire Department alongside a restoration project of Joliet West students, Freddie the Fire Truck. Terry Keshner, 105.9 WBBM.
Around the nation, law enforcement in Massachusetts are investigating the murder of an MIT professor in his home on Monday night.
47-year-old nuclear science and engineering professor Nuno Loriero was shot multiple times. Police aren't saying if they've identified a suspect. Family friend Eurydice Hersey organized a community vigil last night.
It's the only way to get through something that's so enormous, so tragic.
Ann Greenwald is Loriero's neighbor.
We're living in such terrible times right now that it seems like violence is just happening everywhere.
Police do not believe Loriero's shooting was connected to last weekend's mass shooting at Brown University. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
It is 5:42. Top trending stories and your day in sports next.
In Chicago, fall weather means being ready for anything. The snow is starting to really pile.
The Buckner boys, baby. The Buckner boys.
Ready. 7-3 ready. Can we get two more, please? Chicago Rep.
Yeah, take 08875, 08876.
Thank you.
7383 David.
793 David.
You at the red line at State Lake.
Yeah, take 08882 and 08883.
numbers, Roosevelt red, Roosevelt green.
Good afternoon. That'll be 08906 and 08908.
Getting a person with a gun, 71st in Dorchester. Caller states 2 males wearing ski masks and all black have guns. Caller heard a gunshot near the school and the homeless shelter. Their district on 7.
Where was that at? What just happened? What? Slow down there. Slow down, Speedy.
71st in Dorchester. Caller states 2 males wearing ski masks and all black have guns. Caller heard a gunshot near the school and the homeless shelter. Their district on 7.
Holy cow, man. We got schools and homeless shelters being shot up, right? Let's pull over here. You can count how many cars.
3214.
3214.
Traffic stop at 4509 North Broadway. 7391 Charlie.
7391 Charlie.
Afternoon squad, clear 2.
Getting a person with a gun, 71st in Dorchester. Caller states 2 males wearing ski masks and all black have guns. Caller heard a gunshot near the school and the homeless shelter. Their district on 7.
Shots fired, 71st in Dorchester, by the school and homeless shelter. Couple of dudes wearing ski masks.
4509 North Broadway.
Right, 2 guys, as she said?
Getting a person with a gun, 71st in Dorchester. Caller states 2 males wearing ski masks and all black have guns. Caller heard a gunshot near the school and the homeless shelter. Their district on 7.
Maybe they're ICE agents? It might be ICE agents, right?
Traffic stop at 4509 North Broadway.
I doubt it. That was a joke.
3214, you want to play for me? Give me the expiration.
Go ahead with it.
The Illinois Land of Lincoln plate 182128 Henry. It's on the FedEx truck.
Got it back, valid and clear, expiring June of 26.
29, and what's the make?
Ford. It just says chassis. What's it?
Well, thank God I don't need the model for a parking ticket.
I guess not, eh?
7383 Frank.
I'm there, it's Frank.
So we get 2 events for the Howard Station, upper and lower.
Yep, that is 08977 and 08980.
10-4. Event number, bus check 79th and Ashland, bus number 112 for westbound.
Alright, that is 08999.
7391 Charlie.
7391 Charlie.
Yeah, we have intoxicated male on the train, 5061 train car, Roosevelt Green Line elevated. We can get in an ambulance for him. He was passed out, looks like he was drinking, threw up all himself.
Oh, lovely. Alright, I'll get him rolling.
Threw up all over himself. That's kind of,
7373, good afternoon.
Go, buddy.
Yeah, why don't you take, oh, hold on. There we go. 09010 and 09011.
Quick 595 King.
6595 King.
1700 hours. I'm at 17.
Blanket firearms investigation at 5200 South Austin. And also, can I get RD for 5114?
Yep, that'll be John 525735. 525735. And the event number 09016. 09016.
04 North.
04 North.
Get 2 events, one for North, one for South, 95th Street, that night.
Yep, that's 09027 and 09030.
7383 Adam.
83 Adam.
Can we get travel time to 901 West 36th Street for lunch location?
Yep, 10-4, that is 09033. Alright, 739, now which one you got? Ambulance 41 around.
Thank you, Squad. We're on the platform with them. We sit on a bench.
Sorry, Mary.
735, 7 in Citywide, getting a person with a gun, 7220 South Carpenter, 7220 on Carpenter. Caller says that a male black with a gun is loitering. There's 5 to 6 male blacks around. They're all wearing black. Nothing for them.
32, 14, 19, Mary. Let me get lunch at 11:45. Wilson.
Number.
Henry.
79300. 79300, go ahead.
We get an event number for bus number 1238 going westbound of 79 Western.
Ready? That is 09091.
$5,700.
5700 Adam.
Good afternoon. Hey, just a heads up, Straightsville, event 09001. They have the plate wrong. Should be Frank Lincoln 33272. They have it down as Sam Lincoln.
Well, look at that. Yeah, it looks like my partner figured it out. Okay. We'll change it, no problem.
Gotcha.
792.
And Shelby, so two companies close to green and those are red.
Yep, that is 09109 and 09110.
7383 George.
793 George.
7383 George. Can you grab me a van number for lunch, please, at 26 and Princeton?
Absolutely. 09116.
Boy.
784.
I got 2 event numbers for the Summit Red Line.
Yep, that is 09.
It's downtown Chicago. This is State Street here, right? Well, make sure everybody knows where we're at. This is State Street. That's our main library there. That's Harold Washington Library. State Street, this is Ida B. Wells, used to be called Congress. See that? We're in the middle of downtown. We ain't on an edge. We're in Lower Wacker Drive. Got that? So, there you go. That's what you see here, right? What is it, Wednesday, isn't it? It's around 6 o'clock, I think. Hey, people sleep out here. See that there? This is an abandoned university, Robert Morris University, right? See that there? Let people sleep out here, right? You get threatened by every person around, right? It's never ending. Never ending. Hey, what was that? 10, 15 kids running around? They're running down the street there, right? Terrorizing people. That's what they're doing. They were going in and out of stores. Got that? That they're walking around downtown right now. There you go. That's what you got. Terrorists, right? Those are kids that are terrorists. You got it right there. You had it on video, right? I'm doing my thing, minding my own business. They start saying, we're going to get you. Don't put me on. I didn't put nobody on camera. That's a public street. Then they start saying, we're going to get you. We're going to do something to you. You got that? How it escalates? There was 10, 15 of those kids out there. This is how the city treats its residents and treats its streets. Like trash. And after we were filming this and during it on our live, we were threatened by a group of 15 young people down here. That I shouldn't be videotaping on the city sidewalk. They said they were going to get me and harm me. Our city downtown is out of hand and lawless. And this is the direct result of Brandon Johnson's policies. There's a guy walking on the highway, right? It's everywhere. Right? There's criminals everywhere. There's terrorism everywhere. It exists everywhere. Everywhere. Those guys were going in and out of the stores as they were walking, stealing. There's nothing you can do about it, right? There's no cops around protecting you, right? Don't you see the vagrants sleeping on the sidewalk? That's how it goes, man. It's every day you get threatened by people. You're always doing your stuff on the street, they start threatening you, man. I ain't talking to them. I didn't talk to people, did I? I didn't say nothing. They start talking to me, they're gonna do this to me, they're gonna do that to me, they're gonna do this. They were all coming towards me. You guys, I don't know if you've seen it on the camera. They were coming towards me. Till I tried to get my phone and call 911 because I had an extra phone, right? I have an extra phone. Yeah, I always have extra phones. Always an extra phone that I call 911 with. There you go, man. What's this guy doing, dude? Look at that. Riding a damn bicycle on the damn... There's a dude riding a bicycle on the damn highway there. Did you just see that?
4755.
Unbelievable. So those are the wilding groups. They go wilding, right? And there's white kids, there was Mexican kids there. It was only African American kids. There was all mixed. Don't get confused by race. Don't get confused.
Good evening.
7385 Charlie.
7385 Charlie.
Can I get an upper and lower for the red line at Roosevelt?
First event number is going to be 09676 09676. Second event number is going to be 09677 09677.
SubX.News Live. That's how life goes, right? They pick up a rock, smash your window, hit you with a stick, take your wallet, take your phone. That's how they do it. There's wilding. That's what it's called. They do things to distract you. You get all emotional, right? And then they get you, right? And then they laugh at you. They make a video about you. They make videos of beating people. You know, that's the thing, right? They make videos of beating people, innocent people, right? What's the funniest part about that, and it's the sick part, that's what we were talking about earlier, is they tell you don't film them, but while they're beating you, they're filming you.
And is calling, a couple calls coming in, group of 10 plus kids at the bus stop. In front, throwing ice at vehicles driving by. They are across the street to the parking lot of the park. No weapon seen and no
There you go. That's more teenagers. Listen. More teenagers. Listen. Throwing ice at cars. Listen.
To citywide criminal damage property in progress, 5600 South King Drive, 5600 South King Drive. And is calling, a couple calls coming in, group of 10 plus kids at the bus stop. In front, throwing ice at vehicles driving by. They are across the street to the parking lot of the park. No weapon seen and no drinking and drugs. Another caller states that also threw rocks. The car was hit with no damage. Notifying police. Nothing further. Phone 7 District 2.
I'm gonna get me.
570 Adam.
6570 Adam.
Let me post this video and I'm gonna get me a sausage.
Can I get a number for 5114?
Alright, 5114 is gonna get to John 525-823. John 525-823. It's going to be on event number 09698. 09698.
Started threatening me.
7383 Henry. 7383 Henry. What number is 698?
6 p.m. December 17th, 2025.
Can I get event number? Westbound Vincent from what street? 79. Second number 09712. 09712.
$7395 boy.
95 boy.
He is the 90th Citywide Cormac Red check.
Yeah, Cormac Red. That's gonna get you 09718. 09718. Did you need upper or lower?
Just upper's fine.
You got it.
I should call my kids and see if they want one, right? One of these Polish sausages. You seen that, right? Was I minding my... Yeah, I didn't even talk on my video. Did you hear me talk? I ain't do nothing. I don't put my video on people's faces and I'm going. And they start saying your video ain't tape. I don't want to be on tape. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. What they do is they cause a distraction. They come towards you. Then they all swarm you, right? That's what they do. That's their techniques. And then a few of them get their videos and videotape you getting beaten. It's a thing. To beat people ain't random. Everybody knows that, right? It's a thing. It's kids do that. That's what they do. They look for victims. Those guys are looking for victims. They're walking around downtown Chicago looking for victims. Let's go get some
4603.
4603.
Oh, I was gonna call my kid, right? That's what I was gonna do. And see if they wanted one of these, right? Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I don't know how many kids of mine are at home, right? Let's see what he wants. Because they might not want the Polish, right? Hey, I'm over here at the Polish joint. What do you want? Just the Polish? I'm over here by UIC. Alright, anybody else? Who else is home? Did all the two guys want one? One chicken sandwich and one Polish for me, for you, and so 3 Polishes and a chicken sandwich. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye. All right, they want. All right, let's go get it. Let's go get some food, right?
Yes, sir.
3 Polishes and a chicken sandwich.
Everything and everything?
Yeah, no hot peppers. No. I don't know. There you go, man. See them making that good food there? Look at that.
Oh, chilillos.
You pay cash or card? Card is all right. I got cash, maybe. Is that better?
Up to you, man. However you want to pay.
There we go. Look at that.
Put the chip right up in there.
Where are we at, man? What's this place called?
Jim's Original, baby. Original.
Original, not second, not third, the first, right? 1939. Come on out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that steaming over there. Look at that nice looking guy. You single or what? Watch out, there's ladies watching on the TV, man. You're gonna get some dates there. Whoa, whoa. Oh, let's sign that thing there. There you go. How you doing? There you go, my brother. All right, you guys take it easy, all right? Thanks a lot, fellas. There you go, man. There you go. Come on, get some food over here. Come on, get some food. There you go, man. Do you see the difference between positive and negative? People were what? They're working. They're busy. They're not CEOs. They're not high stakes, whatever, influencers and blah, blah, blah bull crap on the internet, stealing our tax money. What are they doing? They're hard-working guys here. They work all day. They sling the sausages. Right? And what happens? They're positive, right? I film it when we go, right? We're going to go home and Today is my movie day with my kid. Well, Tuesday's a movie day, but we're switching to Wednesdays because Fallout, the new season of Fallout's on. You know Fallout? It's, I think the one new comes today, so I'm going home a little early. Usually my movies days are 7:30 on Tuesdays. We're switching movies days now to Wednesdays because of Fallout, and I'm going home just a little bit early to watch. When the new season comes out, we'll watch the last one. So that's what I'm doing tonight. But do you see the difference? When people work, they have a different attitude. Do you love your jobs? Are you the best at everything you do? Maybe you are. I don't know. I don't know those guys from Adam. But you see the difference in attitude? Hey, what's up? Oh, you're doing Fallout too? But do we see the difference in attitude? So guys that are working have a great attitude. They want to promote business. Kids that have nothing to do, that are roaming the streets of downtown, dilapidated, drugs, crime, criminals, stabbings, murders, beatings. They threaten strangers, right? On the city streets. On the city streets. On a city street. That's what our city has become. It's become the wilding, right? It's been happening. I've just said it. The cops know about this. They used to say, the regulars. The regulars. What do you mean the regulars? Why aren't you arresting them? That's what look, and this comes, and I keep saying, the rank and file knew to do the job, but all of those things come from the politicians in the police department and in City Hall. And they hired all these DEI administrators who promote that crap to let those kids do whatever they want. They're little kids, they're innocents. That they allowed that. It started with Lori Lightfoot a little bit. She allowed some of that crap to happen. And now we're in full swing criminality, right? Where you're walking down the sidewalk and you got 14 to 15 people, kids, saying we're gonna get you and shit, man. That's a little dangerous there, 14, 15, for anybody to handle. You're not handling 14, 15 people. If they get around you, you're gonna go down. They're gonna do whatever they want to you. First of all, when you have that much of a crowd against you, you never let them get closer than 20 to 30 feet, not even 20 feet. 20 feet might even be too close. You keep them as far away as you can. You make sure no one's in back of you. And when you can leave, you leave. That's it. That's what you need to do when you're involved in that kind of a situation. Proximity is very important. Now, if you're in the middle of it, then you need to just protect yourself, remove yourself from the middle of whatever is happening, and get to a safe space. A wall is always good. You want a wall. Why? Because then they can't get in back of you and you can fight your way out of a wall or protect yourself, right? That's how you do those things. It's all different techniques in street safety, right? If the violence starts, first of all, you don't want to be involved in the violence. You want to stay away, like I showed you guys there, right? They were there. I was in another place. They started walking towards me. I don't know if that was on the video, if I showed you guys that. They were walking towards me. They didn't. They were walking. They stopped walking and they started figuring out what to do with me. When I reached for my other phone, they started running and I got my other phone. That's what I was doing, and they all started running because they seen I was going to call 911, right? And I was going to, right? I got them on video. I call 911, so you need to come help me immediately. There's a crowd trying to kill me, right? And that's it. That's how you do that stuff, right? Well, I need to get home, man. That's too much jibber jabber, right? Yeah, and let's see what's going on here. Maybe we'll do a little filming here. There you go. 23rd Street in Halsted. Homeless shelter. Look at that. Look at that stuff, man. They got a whole back end. They have a whole courtyard, and they just do that. Look at that. Then you got the drug tents still there. See that there? Why do you got tents? There you go. See that there? There you go. 23rd in Halsted, city-run shelter. Drug tents, people milling and loitering about. They should get a nuisance citation. That's what they should get. Oh, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not even. They were there, but I'm. You know, it's up to them if they want to get involved in something. Not up to me. I'm ready to leave and get my Polish sausages, right? But that's downtown Chicago for you. There, it's not safe.
Frank Adams, 78355 at a black Ford, straight to field, 1800 Southwest State, going southbound.
Location one more time, please.
18th and State, stolen car.
1800 Southbound State, thank you.
The city is the nuisance. They got drug tents, loitering, and criminal activity all around the city-run shelter, 23rd and Halsted. About 6:15 p.m., December 17, 2025. Of Chicago government. When is the lottery drawing? Is it tonight? Maybe I need to go get a lottery ticket. I should go get one, right? Lawbreaker. The government is the lawbreaker. You see how fast things can happen, right? That's how fast things happen in the city, right? So we got a stolen car running around, huh?
Two numbers for 6-9, the red squad.
Second number is going to be 09801. 09801.
TH2 Citywide. TH2, we're up. Can you please get even number of Southside?
It's 09818. 09818.
You seen it, right, Holly? You see how fast it... Look, you seen what I was doing. I didn't talk. I didn't engage. I didn't do any videos. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I didn't do any of that. I was quiet. I did my thing. As I passed, when they were about 10, 15 feet from me, they started saying things. I ignored it and I kept walking. I looked back and they were coming towards me then. And I stopped. That's when I turned. I don't know what I said. What do you want? Mind your own business. Whatever I said. And then they started threatening me. That's when I said, you're criminals and terrorists, right? That's when I started saying, you're the criminal and you're the terrorist, right? And then I went from my phone to call 911 because there was about 4 or 5 of them coming right towards me. They were going in back of me too. So that's when I stayed back there, right? You got to be really careful in those situations, right? Really careful. They go really quick, real fast. I just showed you that, right? Again, I wasn't doing nothing, man. I didn't antagonize nobody. I didn't say nothing to anybody. But yet, that's what happens in the cities, in this Chicago right now, right?
PH is up. You have an LPI hit for a straight steel. He was going northbound at 1800 South State Street. Frank Adams, 78355. That's a black Ford.
PH2.
PH2, can I get over? One more time.
Frank Adams, 78355 at a black Ford, straight to field, 1800 Southwest State, going southbound.
Location one more time, please.
1800 Southwest State.
1800 Southbound State, thank you. 7383 George.
83 George.
Yeah, one.
Stolen car, 1800 South Sage Street.
Where are you located, George?
Redline in Harrison.
Take 09879, 09879. Speed the platform is going to be 09883, 09883.
That can happen to anybody out there, tourists or anybody, right? You gotta be really careful, man. Those are some good, those kids don't care, man. I'm telling you, they do it on purpose. They want videos of people getting don't you remember what was it, in Cincinnati or Cleveland or whatever? They beat up those people on the sidewalk? That's what they do. They see people as victims. Everybody is a victim for them, right? And they see you and they aggravate you, right? They say something, you might say you're stupid, goofy, you look dumb, your wife is silly, you got goofy shoes, yeah, blah, blah. They'll say some shit to you, right? And then somebody will say something to you, right? That's why you don't talk downtown, right? That's why you don't mind your own business, right? That's how life goes. But those guys weren't minding those guys weren't on the offensive there. Those guys were offensive people. Meaning they were going to they were predators. They were wilding, right? That's what they were doing. It's called wilding. They're looking for victims, right? To get. So they can make videos, maybe take their phone, whatever. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do, those types of individuals, right? That's their thing. What? What happened? Just now. It was live. We were live feeding it. Nicole, we were live feeding it. I videotaped Ida B. Wells on the cardboard, right? People sleeping on cardboard. I went to State Street. Said, this is State Street. And I was walking back. There's a group of kids, I don't know, 10 or 15 of them walking past me. And I keep the camera down, right? I don't videotape people's faces, right? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I keep it down, whatever. And then as I passed them, they started saying stuff. I don't want to be on video. Don't video. You can't video. All these weird things, right? And then as I passed and got to my car, they started saying even more derogatory things or threatening me. We're going to get something like that. And I turned around and said, mind your own business and keep walking, right? When I knew I was far enough away, that's what I said. And that's when they started coming towards me. I went and reached for my extra phone to call 911 for help immediately. And then they ran, right? All right, let's get home and eat some Polish sausages. How about that? That's on. It must be my shocks. I'm gonna see if I can get a pair of shocks and throw them in there and see if it fixes it. Yeah, that's the shocks or something there, man. It has to be. So you gotta watch what you're doing. Situationally aware. Never put yourself. Proximity is the main thing with violence. Street violence is proximity. I'm gonna say it one more time. Proximity. So everyone understands what situational awareness is, right? Meaning you gotta.
Yeah, the EMS request at 15 West 87th Street at the red line. Male was beat up in the mezzanine area. Fenders left. Got fired en route.
So situational awareness is knowing what's around you, your surroundings, where you at, and situations that might happen. How many people, where they're at, right? The second thing is, in street violence, is proximity, right? That's why they tell you, if you see something, just cross the street, right? Cross the street, go on another way, do whatever it is. And then, depending on what happens in that street, or wherever you are in proximity, then you have to have certain things that you do to protect yourself, right? That's what you got to do, right? So the first thing in proximity is just think about this. Remember COVID, the 6-foot rule? That's an okay rule. You want to do 10 feet. 6 feet, you can jump at you right there, right? And if there's a crowd, that's too close to you. So you want to keep them 10 feet away, right? And when they get closer, then you got to figure out what you need to do, right? Where you need to go. You need to go to a store. You need to go to a business. But nowadays, that don't protect you anymore. If you run into a business, you're getting dragged out, beat up right in the store. It doesn't matter anymore. So the point is not to get into the proximity where you can actually get grabbed or something can start happening to you. You don't want that, right? That's what you want. You want to always avoid violence. Violence is something that's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to go. And you don't want to be involved in that. Violence is violence, man. It's something that's not appropriate. And here, I'm going to end it with this. There's two different things that happened tonight within an hour of each other. One is an interaction with young people that had nothing to do, that are roaming around downtown Chicago threatening strangers. That's the first interaction, right? Or I had multiple interactions today, but that's the one. The second interaction right after that was at a place where a bunch of guys were working, making money, and they were courteous. They were humorous. And they were welcoming. Yes, I was paying them for something, but they don't need to be that way to me. And that was the difference. And I think that's the lesson for today. When people don't work, they're lazy, they're scums. They put pornos on their Facebook, they put weed, they put dope, they put all that gang-banging crap on their pages. That's lazy, bum, retarded mentality, criminally damaged brains. And behaviors, antisocial behaviors. And that's what you're seeing tonight. Two examples. One, where a group of guys is working and doing what they want to do, making money. And the second group of people, mostly men, there were mostly men in the hot dog joint, and there was mostly men that did this threatening. The first group had nothing to do. They're roaming around. They're behaviorally deficient, maybe retarded, maybe mentally ill, I don't know, or criminally psychotic, who can't control their behaviors, who are going to harm themselves and harm anybody around them. And that's the difference tonight. When you work, you do good. When you don't work and you're lazy, and you think pornos and guns and smoking weeds and doing whatever crap you think you're doing is cool, that ain't cool, man. You're behaviorally defunct. You need to change your ways, man, because I'm telling you one more time, the times are changing. People are tired of this stuff. They're tired of it. So I'm going to go eat some Polish sausages now with my kids and have a good night. We're watching Fallout. The new season starts tonight, I believe. It's out on, I think I'm on Amazon Prime. Take it easy. Having a good night. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody watching. It's 6:28 p.m., December 17th, 2025. SubX.News signing off. Bye.